All right, draft nerds, welcome in. Today we are getting into this A to Z Sports 2-round mock draft compiled by all the good folks over there that cover the draft. Travis May, Ryan Roberts, Destin Adams, Rob Gregson, John Hellcamp, Tyler Fornes, AJ Schulte, and Ian Valentino. Fired up to get into it. It is a 2-round mock draft. We are mocking the mock, so gonna have to fly through these picks here to keep the time down. We've got over 60 picks to get to. And the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1 overall, I guess they can't trade out. Travis Hunter, cornerback / wide receiver. If I was picking at number 1 overall, and I do cover the Jacksonville Jaguars, root for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would be taking Travis Hunter if I had to stick and pick at 1 overall. Says Hunter is the best player in the 2025 NFL draft with elite playmaking ability on either side of the ball. He can play either wide receiver or cornerback at the next level. 2 critical areas for the Jaguars. No need to overthink this pick if the Jaguars actually hang on to it. Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. The Jaguars could use Travis Hunter opposite Tyson Campbell on defense. They could use him helping out Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, I'm in on that one. Now here things get absolutely weird. Tennessee Titans at number 2 overall taking Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss. This might shock some people, but he's quickly risen up to the 4th in odds to go first overall via sportsbooks, and for good reason. Dart ranks number 1 in overall quarterback efficiency this year via a variety of different production metrics. He possesses strong traits, quick processing, and consistency. Titans need all of that and more in their franchise quarterback. Yeah, I mean, this would scare the crap out of me if I was a Titans fan, because he comes from an offense that just does not translate to the NFL. Like, what he has to do in the Ole Miss offense is not what he will have to do in the NFL. That would scare me. That would absolutely scare me. He does have some enticing physical traits, no doubt about it. At number 3 overall, the Cleveland Browns get Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami. The Browns may be on the hook for Deshaun Watson, but it's clear that his days as a starting quarterback are over. A fresh start with a proven talent at quarterback like Cam Ward on his rookie deal will bring some life back to Cleveland. Yeah, I'd be in on this pick 100%. Cam Ward, to me, has the best upside, in terms of playmaking with his legs and arm talent. Can throw from any platform, has all the big playability in the world, just needs to harness that a little bit more in an NFL style offense. Las Vegas Raiders, Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. Sanders is a top quarterback in this class. His poise, accuracy, and command are all translatable to the NFL, and he has enough ability outside of structure to be a real difference maker at the NFL level. Ability outside of structure, there is a little bit of that, certainly. I don't think he's a great athlete, but there is some nimbleness and some escapability. What you want to see from Shedeur Sanders really is his ability to stop drifting so much in the pocket. He needs to manage the pocket better, in my opinion. But I do like Shedeur Sanders. I think that he has the potentially safest floor of all these quarterbacks. New York Giants, Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama. Quarterbacks coming off the board hot and heavy. Giants desperately need a new face behind center. Milroe is a dynamic athlete that can make some magic happen when things break down. His passing skills need to be refined, but the tools are very much there. Yeah, I think that he's never going to be like an elite passer at the NFL level, but I agree the tools are there, and his ability rushing the ball is going to be almost unparalleled in the NFL. New England Patriots take Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle out of Texas. If the top offensive tackle in the class falls into New England's lap at 6 overall, it's a good day for the Patriots. With the way quarterbacks tend to fly off the board, it seems entirely possible that it happens. Drake May is a hit. Now it's time to protect him. John Hellcamp. I don't think Kelvin Banks is the top offensive tackle in this class personally. I don't see it that way. So that's tough for me to digest a little bit there. I think Kelvin Banks actually protects better at guard. And now we are having some issues here. Okay. New York Jets, Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan. The Jets are going through a lot of transition right now as a franchise, and the easy thing to do is force a quarterback here. But with the top options off the board, I chose to give them Will Johnson to form one of the deadliest cornerback duos in the NFL with Sauce Gardner. Yeah, Will Johnson's a blue chip prospect for me, so that makes plenty of sense. I'm on board with that. Carolina Panthers taking Luther Burden at 8 overall. Bryce Young has shown some signs of growth over the last few weeks, so it's hard to imagine Carolina moves away from him yet. Giving him an actual star playmaker would be wise. Luther Burden can be the offensive engine regardless of whether Young sticks around long. Yeah, I agree. I love Luther Burden. I think that his circumstances at Missouri with the quarterback, with the offense, have been less than ideal, and he will end up being a star in the NFL, in my opinion. At 9, Dallas Cowboys, Mason Graham, defensive lineman, Michigan. This is usually where Ashton Jeanty goes, but Mason Graham falls to 9. Interior of Dallas's defensive line has been abysmal this season. To make matters worse, Osa Odigizua is a pending free agent, and the Cowboys might not retain him. with the other mega contracts they have to consider. Mason Graham has an argument to be the best player in this class and would transform their front instantly. Yeah, I agree with all that. Cannot argue. I think Mason Graham is a complete defensive line prospect. He has all the length, explosiveness, everything you could ask for. At 10, the New Orleans Saints take Tetero McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. McMillan has asserted himself as the clear wide receiver one in the 2025 NFL draft class. Size, speed, ball skills, and a proven production profile that looks like an elite first-round wide receiver prospect. Saints desperately need help at wide receiver outside Chris Olave. Yeah, I like this pick a lot. I like McMillan, everything about his game, the size, the length, the catch radius, the super stellar hands, the surprising quickness at his size. I think that maybe explosiveness and overall long speed will be the question with him, but it makes sense to me. Cincinnati Bengals getting Abdul Carter, the edge out of Penn State. It's very late to see the first pass rusher come off the board, and there's a lot of flavors to choose from for a Bengals team that desperately needs pass rush. Abdul Carter has some of the best traits and upside in this class, making him a slam dunk decision for Cincinnati. Yeah, I think Abdul Carter is the easy number one edge in this class. The way he has come on and shown development as of late in Big Ten play, I think he's been absolutely incredible, super explosive, going to be a problem in the NFL. So for them to land him there makes a lot of sense. Miami Dolphins get Will Campbell, offensive tackle out of LSU. Dolphins are all in on Mac McDaniel offense with Tua Tagovailoa, and they need to find a way to protect their quarterback. Likely a guard. Campbell is arguably the best offensive lineman in this class and will allow the Dolphins to put their best five on the field. I agree. Will Campbell is a guard, in my opinion, and he is also the best offensive lineman in this class, in my opinion. Tampa Bay Buccaneers get James Pierce. I mocked them, James Pierce, recently. Buccaneers have two glaring needs, pass rush and cornerback. Getting a pass rush talent like Pierce at this juncture in the first round is huge. He's twitched up, bendy, and has massive upside and continues filling out his frame. Ryan Roberts says that, yeah, 100% agree. I think James Pierce is clearly the number two option at edge right now in this NFL draft, and I think he's going to be a super productive edge. I would like that pairing in Tampa with that defense and all the talent they have on the interior, and Yaya Diaby opposite him. 14, Chicago Bears take Malachi Stark, safety out of Georgia. Chicago continues to build their secondary as they've done in recent years, adding a position-versatile, explosive, lengthy safety with ball hawking ability. Yeah, Malachi Starks is a blue-chip prospect for me, so I'm 100% on board with that for the Chicago Bears, although offensive line is a concerning spot for them. Indianapolis Colts take tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State, and you might see my excitement here. I'm reading this for the first time. So some will say this is a reach, but the Colts aggressively tried to move up for Brock Bowers in 2024, and they desperately need a playmaker at tight end. Penn State's Tyler Warren seems to be the perfect fit in this class for Shane Steichen's offense. Destin Adams, I believe Destin Adams covers the Colts. So, Tyler Warren, I have him higher than 15 on my board. He's a true first-round prospect. He is an absolute beast. I think that'd be a lot of fun for the Colts. I really do. And he would even add to the element of the running game and their ability to just use some superlative athletes. Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson. Seattle Seahawks at 16, Josh Simmons, Ohio State offensive tackle. A powerful blocker who has grown tremendously since transferring to Ohio State. Josh Simmons can slide into Seattle's right tackle spot and be the long-term answer that Abraham Lucas has not been. Yeah, Simmons has been playing left tackle. He's got the ACL, obviously. He's my top offensive tackle in this class. As I said, I have Will Campbell as the top overall offensive lineman, but Josh Simmons as my top offensive tackle. So that'd be a great pick for them, even if they have to wait on him a little bit with the ACL. Los Angeles Rams, Cameron Williams, offensive tackle, Texas. The Rams are at a crossroads with their offensive tackle room. Left tackle Eric Jackson and swing tackle Joe Noteboom are free agents, and neither have earned the right to start long term. To make matters worse, right tackle Rob Havenstein is aging and could be close to medically retiring with his most recent string of injuries. They need to find a long-term solution at either spot. This might be rich for Williams, but his tools make him an intriguing upside swing for a team on a hot streak developing on the offensive line. Yeah, I do think it's a swing. Cameron Williams, to me, he does not have a first-round grade. He does have a lot of upside. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, needs a lot of refinement. To me, that would be a bit of a reach, but I understand his point taken for sure. San Francisco 49ers, Nick Scorton, edge, Texas A&M. True edge isn't a need for the 49ers, but at 285 pounds with an elite athletic profile, Scorton can plug and play in a variety of roles. Then moving forward, he could settle in as a potential full-time future franchise edge rusher in coming years. Yeah, I agree. I would like Scorton to drop some weight. I think he played a little bit lighter at Purdue and was a little bit better, but he's flexible at his size, has great athleticism, great length, and a pass rush bag. So I'd be excited about that for the 49ers. Denver Broncos at 19, getting Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State. The Broncos can go in a few different routes, but if they truly believe in quarterback Bo Nix, building around him with a wide receiver that fits perfectly in Sean Payton's offense is the way to go. Egbuka could step in and be an immediate contributor. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. There might be some other guys you could think about here. Colston Loveland has been a popular pick to them with the tight end spot, but I do think Egbuka, you can't argue with that fit. I think it'd be wonderful for Bo Nix and for Sean Payton. Atlanta Falcons, Jalen Walker, linebacker / edge out of Georgia. The Falcons desperately need to generate a pass rush, and getting edge rusher help should be the top priority. Walker provides flexibility to play on and off the ball and is scheme diverse. Yeah, I think that he's actually scheme specific. I think that he needs to be in a defense that's going to know how to use his versatility and flexibility. And he's not refined as a off-ball linebacker. He's not refined as a pass rusher. To me, that's a bit of a reach for Jalen Walker, but he is an absolute freak with upside, so I get why somebody would do that. 21, Houston Texans, Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman, Michigan. The Texans have quality depth pieces inside along their defensive line, but no substantial difference makers. That's the upside Grant has. He has been playing really good football down the stretch. Yeah, he has been. I think that he really is going to be a nose at the NFL level. I think he's going to be a one tech. I think that he has some pass rush upside, but not like elite pass rush upside like some of the other guys you could potentially add there. So Kenneth Grant would not be top of the list for me at 21 overall for the Houston Texans. I'd be looking at Walter Nolan. I'd be looking at Tyleik Williams. I'd even be maybe considering Derek Harmon out of Oregon over Kenneth Grant there. So at 22, Arizona Cardinals get LT Overton, the edge out of Alabama. Arizona is lacking at pass rush, and Overton out of Alabama is a clear fit. The athletic and explosive pass rusher gives them juice off the edge that they're lacking. Yes. Absolutely. Sign me up. I love LT Overton's game. I think he's got a lot of potential and can kick inside and rush from the interior in clear pass rushing situations. Love that. Commanders, Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State. Him falling to 23 would be a damn travesty. That'd be ridiculous. This would be a luxury pick for the Commanders, but one that could elevate their offense in a major way. The duo of Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson has produced solid numbers, but if they have a chance to give Jaden Daniels a dynamic running back like Ashton Jeanty, I think they should run the Cardinals. Yeah, I agree. Crazy that Genty's still on the board. Shame on everyone. Shame on everyone, in my opinion. All right, what do we got here? Baltimore Ravens, Shamar Stewart, edge out of Texas A&M. With the top lineman off the board and a few surprises available for a value play, Shamar Stewart is the best Baltimore-esque talent on the board, capable of playing at end or tackle. The athletic piece of clay can become whatever this staff wants. Yeah, I agree. This would be a good pick for the Baltimore Ravens. I like Shamar Stewart. He's like 290 pounds, great length, can set the edge, upside as a pass rusher. I can see it. 25, the Los Angeles Chargers get Colston Loveland, tight end Michigan. Yeah, that's another fit there. That makes a lot of sense. Michigan man going to play for Jim Harbaugh. I debate a wide receiver here for the Chargers, but with how much they love multiple tight end sets, it makes sense to add talent to the room instead. Loveland is an elite receiving prospect who would add a reliable big play threat to the Chargers offense. AJ Shelton. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Green Bay Packers getting Siobhan Revel, cornerback, East Carolina. Revel is an early first-round potential talent who might drop to the late first on the injury discount. ACL tears aren't what they once were, and he should easily be ready to go ahead of his rookie year. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I do. He's not my highest rated cornerback here, and I don't think he's an early first-round talent necessarily, but I know that people are fired up about his length, his movement skills, man coverage ability. Pittsburgh Steelers, Benjamin Morrison, cornerback, Notre Dame, another injured corner. The Steelers have to search for their future playing at cornerback. Dante Jackson has filled in well opposite of Joey Porter Jr., but the team is thin at corner with little to no depth, and perhaps more importantly, needs an influx of speed and athleticism. Pittsburgh can find that with Morrison, should his medicals check out. Yeah, again, not my highest rated corner here, but I get the need for sure. Minnesota Vikings, Walter Nolan, defensive lineman, Ole Miss. By the time April comes around, this may not be a need. As things sit, the Vikings need pass rush on the interior in the worst way. Nolan can be a penetrating pass rusher for Brian Flores and unlock even more with their diverse scheme. I agree. Tyler Forness covers the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings fan. Getting Walter Nolan to the Vikings at 28. That's good business right there. 29, Philadelphia Eagles, Princely Umamielen, edge out of Ole Miss, Walter Nolan's teammate. The Bryce Huff signing has been a total bust so far, and Brandon Graham is on his last leg. There aren't many more physically gifted pass rushers in this class than Umamielen. He's really starting to tap into his ceiling with Ole Miss. Yeah, 100% agree. Talked about him as an underrated prospect. Princely Umamielen is a pass rusher that has every every tool in his bag. Has all the physical traits you could ask for, and he's putting it together at Ole Miss. Buffalo Bills take wide receiver Isaiah Bond out of Texas. Assuming Buffalo doesn't sign Amari Cooper to an extension, there's a need for another wide receiver to operate in this offense along with Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. Bond would provide an elite speed element that this team doesn't currently have. Yeah. Oof. Isaiah Bond trying to get deep with Josh Allen throwing the ball. That could be a thing of beauty there. 31 Kansas City Chiefs, Derek Harmon, defensive lineman, Oregon. There's multiple directions the Chiefs could go here, but giving Chris Jones a solid partner in crime in the interior of the defensive line would be a solid move. Oregon's Derek Harmon has upside in both the run and pass game for the Chiefs to develop. Dustin Adams. Yeah, I agree. I love Derek Harmon. I think that Tyleik Williams should have been off the board. I think that would actually make more sense for the Chiefs, given his big 330-pound frame, his explosiveness, his block deconstruction. 32, Detroit Lions, Mykel Williams, out of Georgia. Mykel Williams hasn't been himself this year, playing through injury at times, but he has all the traits you want in a first-round edge rusher and has that dog in him that Dan Campbell will love. Yeah, that would not be a surprising pick overall for me if Mykel Williams fell to 32, but I don't see that happening. And for me, he has a long way to go. He absolutely does. A great run defender, unbelievable length and size and explosiveness, athleticism, but he's got a long way to go. Round 2, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tyleik Williams, defensive lineman, Ohio State. There he is, Tyleik. What a coup-stealing player like this could be. Yeah. The Jaguars have invested plenty on the edge of their defensive line, but they need to shore up the interior, particularly against the run. Williams is arguably the best run stuffer in this class and is no slouch as a pass rusher either. Yeah, Tyleik Williams is absolutely awesome. Getting Travis Hunter and Tyleik Williams in this draft would be a huge step forward for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tennessee Titans, 34, Wyatt Milam, offensive tackle, West Virginia. The Titans get a near-perfect pass blocker here who can maul in the run game too. They may swing J.C. Latham back to right tackle where he played at Alabama if they draft Milam here. Yeah, I think Milam's more of a guard at the next level, which you can say a lot about the tackles in this class. So that'd be an interesting pick. I do think he's a darn good football player that deserves to go in the second round. Cleveland Browns, Kyron Lacy, wide receiver, LSU. The Browns need to get more explosive on the perimeter as they search for a true number one on the outside. After paying Jerry Jeudy in the offseason and seeing the emergence of Cedric Tillman, Lacy gives them a dominant X who can win against man coverage and round out a strong pass-catching unit when accounting for David Njoku at tight end. Yeah, I don't know. Kyron Lacy, I'm still a little up and down on. That'd be interesting. That'd be a little high for me. 36, Las Vegas Raiders, Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina. Hampton is my favorite running back in this class, and he's got a diverse skill set to thrive in any offense. He would be a great pair with a growing Shedeur Sanders, selected at 4th overall. Yeah, I could see that. Omarion Hampton, incredibly explosive, has good hands. He runs like a bat out of hell. He can break tackles. Not like Ashton Genty, but pretty darn impressive. So I could see that. Ariante Ursary to the Giants at 37, the offensive tackle. There's a huge hole at right tackle for the Giants, and Ursary has the size, length, and power to be an asset in the run and pass game. He's a welcome presence to protect their new quarterback selected in round 1, Jalen Milroe. Yeah, I think this is a fair spot for Ursary. I think he's going to be a decent starter in the NFL. Has a little ways to go, but decent starter, good size, good length. Probably not an elite player due to a lack of overall flexibility, in my opinion, and nimbleness, but he's explosive in a straight line. He's got length. He's got strength. New England Patriots, Trey Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. After securing the best offensive lineman in the class, New England gives a big-body athletic wide receiver to Drake May in the second round, all in on May. I don't think Trey Harris is that athletic. I do think he's big. I think he's a good route runner. I think he has great hands, obviously. He's a playmaker. And yeah, I think that this could make sense for the Patriots. Probably not where I would go with this pick, but I get it. 39, New York Jets, Tyler Booker, interior offensive lineman, Alabama. The Jets landed the top cornerback in the draft in the first round, and now I have them adding the top interior offensive lineman in the 2025 class. They may not know who their quarterback will be, but Booker will be a solid addition to protect them from day one. Yeah, I love Tyler Booker. Great value there. 40, Chicago Bears, taking Marcus Mbow, interior offensive lineman, Purdue, able to play tackle, guard, or center. Mbow naturally slides into left guard spot. That has become a significant problem for Caleb Williams and the Bears. Mbow has the strength to be trusted on an island and the athleticism to grow into a long-term starter. Yeah, I haven't watched him yet, so that'll be interesting to see for sure. They do need help at guard. Dallas Cowboys take Alec Aomanor, wide receiver Stanford. After addressing the defense in round one, it's time for Dallas to add more talent to its offense. Aomanor's production hasn't been noteworthy this season, but that's an indictment of Stanford's offense more than his talent. Turning the tape and you see an intriguing blend of size, speed, and route running ability that translate right away into the NFL. Yeah, we know he can go up and get the football. There's no doubt about that. So that would be an interesting pick for the Cowboys. New Orleans Saints, 42 overall, Deion Walker, defensive lineman, Kentucky. Deion Walker is a massive mountain of a man who can win anywhere along the defensive front at 6'6" and 350 pounds. He should bring a much needed havoc factor to the Saints up front. Yeah, Deion Walker, I love the potential. Right now, the pad level, the lack of lower body strength, and the inconsistency really scares me. But he has a pass rush bag. He is explosive. He is huge. Deion Walker, one of the most intriguing prospects in this class for me. 43 Cincinnati Bengals, Denzel Burke, cornerback, Ohio State. The Bengals defense has been the main reason for their struggles in 2024. After selecting a premier talent at edge in round one, addressing the secondary with a fundamentally sound cornerback like Burke gives them two immediate starters in as many rounds. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Burke right now. I think confidence is low for him. 44 Miami Dolphins, Nick Emmanwori, safety out of South Carolina, with Javon Holland likely hitting free agency due to the Dolphins' financial constraints. Getting some help on the back end should be a focus. Even if Holland stays, adding Emmanwori would be a versatile chess piece to last. Yeah, I think that's interesting. Definitely not a one-to-one replacement for Javon Holland, but he's a big hitter. He can come downhill. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I still got some work to do on him. Maxwell Harrison, cornerback, Kentucky. With the Buccaneers getting pass rush help in the first round, they find their cornerback in the second round. Harrison has been banged up, but is very talented when healthy. His short area quickness, ball skills, and instincts would be very welcome to the back end for Tampa around. Yeah, I like Maxwell Harrison in this spot. Again, not my top overall cornerback available, but I do think he's someone worthy of second round investment. 46 overall, Chicago Bears, Dante Corleone, defensive lineman, Cincinnati. A big force in the middle of the defensive line. Interior would be a great ad for Chicago. He's physical and wreaks havoc. I love Dante Corleone. I think he is a nose tackle that has a little bit of versatility to also rush the passer. So that would be a lot of fun. The Bears have invested a lot on their defensive line as of late, but I'm a huge fan of Dante Corleone, aka the Godfather, but did have blood clots over the summer. Something to keep in mind. 47, Indianapolis Colts, Xavier Watts, safety, Notre Dame. The Colts got their tight end in the first, so defense was the main priority for this pick. There were a few options to consider, but I landed on the ball hawk safety out of Notre Dame, Xavier Watts. With Julian Blackmon set to hit free agency, Watts is an option to replace him and take over the team's free safety job. Yeah, I don't know if he has true free safety like hips and explosiveness and speed, but he's a versatile safety who can do a lot for you. I love what Xavier Watts can bring to Indy there. Seattle Seahawks, Mike Green, edge out of Marshall. A rising edge rusher, Mike Green has the size, 6'4" and 250 pounds, and insane production worth paying attention to. Seattle can afford to take a little bit of a project to develop, and Green has a higher athletic upside than others. Yeah, I think that this is probably a fair spot for Green. I still have to study him, but I obviously know a little bit about him, and I've seen some of the highlights. Green as a developmental edge, yeah, it makes sense. 49 Carolina Panthers take Kyle Kennard, another edge out of South Carolina. Panthers add an offensive playmaker in round one and now need to shore up their defense. With one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL, the Panthers have to invest heavily in the unit this offseason. Kennard is a tremendously quick off the snap, and teams will appreciate his motor and good pass rush moveset. Yeah, I agree with that. Not my highest rated edge rusher here, certainly, but I could understand it. San Francisco 49ers, Jihad Campbell. Pairing Jihad Campbell with Fred Warner would be unfair. Campbell is good at everything from coverage to tackling, consistency to even getting after the passer. The 49ers' current LB2 is Devondre Campbell. He's terrible. Yeah, you might have heard of him. Dre Greenlaw. He's supposed to be coming back at some point. 51, Denver Broncos, Tate Rowledge, interior offensive lineman, Georgia. Sean Payton believes in building offensive lines from the inside out. He did it for years in New Orleans with Drew Brees, and if he thinks Bo Nix is his next Drew Brees, then continuing to that trend seems obvious with a stout interior protector like Rowledge. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Although the Broncos could be looking to replace their starting left tackle, who knows? Garrett Bowles is a pending free agent. Atlanta Falcons, TJ Sanders, defensive lineman, South Carolina. The Falcons need help all over their defensive line. Getting a talented player in Sanders to play next to Grady Jarrett would be a beneficial thing for the Falcons. Yeah, I don't know that they would be playing on the field all that much together because they're both undersized, obviously in clear pass rushing situations. I do think Sanders plays bigger than his 290-pound frame would suggest. I love the pick for the value at this spot. And I think that he's going to be a really good interior defensive lineman for a long time, a little bit in the mold of Grady Jarrett. Houston Texans, Emory Jones, offensive tackle, LSU. Offensive line has been an issue for the Texans so far this season. Right tackle could get upgraded, as could inside at guard. Jones has the physical tools to play either on the next level. Yeah, Jones has some development to do. Did not really take the step this year that a lot of people wanted to see from him. So interesting to see that there. I would project him more at guard, but we'll see. 54 Arizona Cardinals, Kevin Winston Jr., safety Penn State. Safety position continues to be good, not great, with depth and development being a concern. Enter Winston, a reliable tackler that McDermott would cover in his too high scheme. Okay. I think maybe he means Cardinals head coach. I don't know. A little confused about that explanation. 55 Washington Commanders, Landon Jackson, edge, Arkansas. Dan Quinn likes big dudes, and Landon Jackson is a steal at this point. 6'7", 280-pounder, was one of the most productive players in the nation and can make an impact on day one. Yeah, I love Landon Jackson. I love the flexibility that he brings at his size, crazy size for the position with that flexibility, and I think he's going to be a good NFL player. 55 makes sense for him. 56, Baltimore Ravens, Donovan Jackson, interior offensive lineman, Ohio State. Powerfully built with elite length. Donovan Jackson hasn't hit his ceiling yet. Baltimore is a very good place to flip him to right guard and unlock a Pro Bowl athletic ceiling. Yeah, doing his best to play tackle in place of Josh Simmons at Ohio State right now. I think Donovan Jackson at this spot makes sense. Los Angeles Chargers, Gray Zabel, interior offensive lineman, North Dakota State. Have not watched this guy yet, but here's what they have to say. Chargers double dip on the offense here to continue building around Justin Herbert. They have their tackles set with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, but they need to boost their interior of their offensive line. Many scouts believe Zabel, who plays tackle for the Bison, is best suited inside at guard or center and has plenty of upside to be a quality starter at the next level. Gotta love the North Dakota State Bison going over to Los Angeles Chargers, playing for Jim Harbaugh. Green Bay Packers, Shamar Turner, defensive lineman, Texas A&M at 6'4", 300 pounds. Shamar Turner moves with much greater burst and fluidity than he should at his size. Plus, he's versatile enough to win at edge rusher or punch interior lineman hard in the B-gap for the Packers. Yeah, I love the way Shamar Turner plays the game. You can tell he studies. He's always prepared for what offenses are trying to do, and he does have a nice physical skill set as well. 59 Pittsburgh Steelers, Quinshon Judkins, running back Ohio State. With Najee Harris and Jalen Warren both on the final year of their rookie deals, the Steelers will look to replenish this unit in the draft. Judkins fits the bill in terms of what the Steelers want at RB, the size and speed requisite of a lead back. Yeah, he will punch you in the mouth. He's very explosive. I think he's a little bit limited from a agility and flexibility standpoint, but probably a decent pick at this point in the draft. Buffalo Bills, Azareye'h Thomas, cornerback, Florida State. Love this pick. The Bills could use multiple positions at this point in the draft. They pick again at 62, where nose tackle could be the pick. So here at pick 60, they get an athletic cornerback in Thomas who can do a little bit of everything for you with the cornerback room. How it is currently construction, Thomas would get an opportunity to develop. Yeah, I don't think he needs a ton of development. I love Azareye'h Thomas. I have him as a first-round grade here. 61 Philadelphia Eagles, Jonas Savaiinaea, offensive tackle, Arizona. Should not be on the board. Should not be on the board here. It's unclear how Savaiinaea fell this far, but the Eagles may have found their long-term answer at right guard. He may even be able to be their heir apparent at right tackle to Lane Johnson whenever he retires as well. I think I had the Eagles taking him in the first round in my last mock draft. So yeah, that makes sense for me. 62 Buffalo Bills, Jordan Burch, edge, Oregon. The Bills love hyper-athletic pass rushers, either size and a motor. Jordan Burch falling to them at 62 is a dream scenario. Yeah, not my highest rated edge rusher, but I get it. 63, Kansas City Chiefs, Tacario Davis, cornerback, Arizona. Back-to-back defensive picks for the Chiefs. This time they target their secondary. They moved on from L'Jarius Sneed this offseason, so finding a cornerback with the potential to develop into an every-week starter is certainly a need. Arizona's Tacario Davis is an intriguing prospect whose coverage ability and elite length of the position could get him some first-round love throughout the draft cycle if he declares. Yeah, I haven't been huge on Tacario Davis. I think that, Zy Alexander from LSU would be a much more intriguing pick there for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I get it with his size, length, and athletic ability. Detroit Lions, Josh Connerly, offensive tackle, Oregon. This would surprise me a little bit. Does not scream Lion to me because he's not overly physical. He needs to grow technically. Detroit eventually wants to replace Taylor Decker, and Josh Connerly gives the Lions a good body to develop. Connerly has solid athleticism and positional versatility if Giovanni Manu ends up being the better option at tackle. I don't really think Connerly has positional flexibility, but Connerly is a very good athlete with good length, good traits. He just needs to develop a little bit more. Very fun mock draft from A to Z Sports. Love the way they did this. 2 full rounds with, kind of trading off the picks with all these different draft analysts who do a great job. So I thought this was absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.